The discovery. The winds howled across the barren surface of Proxima b, whipping clouds of red dust against the reinforced windows of Research Station Delta. Dr. Elena Chen stood at her workstation, dark circles under her eyes betraying countless sleepless nights spent analyzing the strange readings from mining shaft 37. 3 weeks ago, what should have been a routine mineral survey had turned into the greatest scientific mystery of the 23rd century. Dr. Chen, you need to see this. Marcus Webb's voice crackled through the station's comm system. The young geologist had been monitoring the excavation robots in the deeper sections of the mine. The bots just breached a new cavity, and, well, this definitely isn't natural. Elena grabbed her tablet and rushed to the elevator platform. As she descended into the depths of the mine, the temperature dropped steadily. At level 12, she found Marcus staring at a holographic display, his face illuminated by its blue glow. "Look at these readings," he said, gesturing to the data streams. "The cavity walls are perfectly smooth, and they're made of some kind of metamaterial we've never encountered before. But that's not even the strangest part." He swiped across the display, bringing up a new set of scans. The entire chamber is generating a low-level quantum field. It's like nothing in our database. Elena studied the readings, her heart racing. After 20 years of space exploration and xenorchaeology, she'd never seen anything like this. "Show me the chamber." They made their way through the narrow mining tunnel, their environment suits protecting them from the frigid temperatures and thin atmosphere. As they rounded the final bend, Elena stopped dead in her tracks. The excavation bots had revealed an entrance to a vast, circular chamber, its walls covered in intricate patterns that seemed to shift and flow like liquid metal. "My God," she whispered. "It's a vault." The patterns on the walls weren't random. They were mathematical sequences, engineering diagrams, and what appeared to be weapon schematics, all encoded in a form of visual language that somehow felt both alien and familiar. At the center of the chamber stood a pedestal, and floating above it was a crystalline structure that pulsed with inner light. "Get me Admiral Santos on the quantum comm," Elena ordered, her voice steady despite the trembling in her hands. "Priority Alpha. Tell him we found it. The key to defending Earth." Within hours, the chamber was swarming with United Earth Defense Force personnel. Admiral Santos himself arrived 12 hours later, his weathered face grave as Elena briefed him on their findings. "The patterns on the walls," Elena explained. "They're not just decorative. They're instructions, blueprints for weapons technology far beyond anything humanity has ever developed. But here's the fascinating part: the mathematical principles underlying these designs. They're compatible with human physics. It's like someone left this here for us to find." Admiral Santos studied the floating crystal. "Any idea who built this?" "The dating puts this facility at roughly 100,000 years old. But that's impossible. The engineering principles are far too advanced. This technology, it shouldn't exist yet. Not anywhere in the galaxy." "Could it be a trap?" the Admiral asked, voicing the concern that had been nagging at Elena since the discovery. "I don't think so," she replied. "The quantum signatures we're detecting, they're keyed to human brainwave patterns. This vault isn't just compatible with our technology. It was designed specifically for human beings to find and understand." The Admiral's next words would change the course of human history. "How quickly can we begin weapons development?" The next few months passed in a blur of activity. The United Earth Defense Force established a top-secret facility beneath the surface of Mars, codenamed Project Phoenix. Elena found herself working alongside the brightest minds in human engineering, trying to decode and adapt the alien designs. Dr. James Morrison, the lead weapons engineer, became her closest collaborator. While Elena worked to understand the theoretical principles behind the alien technology, James focused on practical applications. Their breakthrough came 3 months into the project. "The crystal isn't just a data storage device," Elena announced during an emergency meeting with the project leadership. "It's a quantum computer, but it works differently than anything we've built. Instead of processing information sequentially, it processes all possibilities simultaneously, including possibilities from parallel universes. James picked up where she left off, his excitement barely contained. We've been trying to build the weapons exactly as shown in the blueprints, but that's not the point. These designs are meant to teach us principles, not to be copied exactly. The aliens who left this, they wanted us to develop our own technology, based on their fundamental concepts. Admiral Santos leaned forward. What exactly are you proposing? A ship, James replied, pulling up a holographic design. Not just any ship, a hybrid vessel that combines these alien principles with human innovation, something that's never existed before, in this universe or any other. The design rotated slowly in the air between them. A massive warship unlike anything humanity had ever built. Its hull would be composed of self-repairing metamaterials, its weapons powered by quantum probability drives, and at its heart, a modified version of the alien crystal would serve as its brain. The aliens left us these blueprints, Alina said softly, but they left them in a form that required human creativity to implement. They didn't want to give us weapons. They wanted to give us the tools to defend ourselves. Admiral Santos studied the design for a long moment before speaking. How long? 2 years to build a prototype, James replied. Maybe less if we get full cooperation from all Earth's major shipyards. You'll have it, the Admiral said. Whatever you need. Because if we're right about why these blueprints were left for us to find. He didn't need to finish the sentence. They all knew the implications. Somewhere out there in the vast darkness of space, a threat was coming. A threat so significant that an advanced alien civilization had chosen to help humanity prepare for it, even across the gulf of 100,000 years. As Alina stared at the rotating ship design, she couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. Humanity was about to take its first steps toward becoming something greater than anyone had ever imagined. The real question was, would they be ready in time? The crystalline structure in the vault pulsed one last time before going dark, its mission finally complete after millennia of waiting. The message had been delivered. The tools had been provided. Now, everything depended on humanity's ability to rise to the challenge that awaited them among the stars. Rising from ruins, the Martian underground facility buzzed with activity as construction drones swarmed around the massive skeleton of humanity's most ambitious project. Through the reinforced observation window, James Morrison watched the assembly process with growing frustration. Another drone sparked and fell, its circuits overloaded by the strange energies emanating from the experimental quantum core. That's the third one this week, he muttered, running a hand through his graying hair. The metamaterials are rejecting our traditional manufacturing methods. Dr. Alina Chen stood beside him, her tablet displaying a cascade of error messages from their latest simulation. 6 months into Project Phoenix, and they were hitting wall after wall. The alien technology seemed to actively resist being integrated with human engineering. Maybe we're thinking about this wrong, Alina said, pulling up the original vault schematics. We've been trying to adapt their technology to our methods, but what if we need to adapt our methods to their technology? Before James could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. Red emergency lights bathed the observation room in an eerie glow. Security breach in Section 7, the AI announced. Unknown energy signature detected. Alina's blood ran cold. Section 7 housed the original crystal from the vault, the quantum computer that had started everything. She and James sprinted through the corridors, joining the security team converging on the sector. They found Dr. Sarah Patel, their quantum mechanics specialist, unconscious on the floor. The crystal housing had been damaged, and strange patterns of energy danced across the walls. But most disturbing was the holographic message floating in the air, composed of the same flowing symbols they'd found in the vault. It's some kind of warning, Alina breathed, her fingers flying across her tablet as she attempted to decode the message. The crystal. It's trying to tell us something. Hours later, in an emergency meeting with Admiral Santos, The full picture became clear. The crystal wasn't just storing blueprints, Alina explained. It contains a quantum-level security system. Someone tried to access restricted data, something the aliens specifically didn't want us to have yet. Sabotage, the Admiral asked, his face grim. Industrial espionage, James confirmed. We found evidence that someone had infiltrated our network. They were trying to steal the weapon designs, but the crystal's security protocols activated. The thing is, Admiral, the protocols didn't just stop the theft. They revealed something new. Alina pulled up a new set of holographic displays. The security breach triggered what appears to be a secondary cache of data. The aliens didn't just leave us technology. They left us a warning about how to use it safely. The crystal wasn't rejecting our manufacturing methods because they were incompatible. It was protecting us from a catastrophic mistake. The new data showed simulation after simulation of failed attempts by other civilizations to harness similar technology. Each failure led to devastating consequences. Artificial singularities, dimensional rifts, entire solar systems reduced to atomic dust. The aliens who built this, Alina continued, they weren't just advanced. They were survivors. They'd seen countless civilizations destroy themselves by rushing to adopt technologies they weren't ready for. That's why the blueprints were designed the way they were, not just to teach us the technology, but to guide us toward developing it safely. James stepped forward, excitement breaking through his exhaustion. And I think I know how to do it. The drones keep failing because we're trying to build the ship like a machine. But look at these new schematics. The ship isn't supposed to be built. It's supposed to be grown. He brought up a new design, radically different from their previous attempts. We use the metamaterials as seeds. Create a crystalline framework based on human engineering principles, then let the alien technology naturally integrate itself. Instead of forcing the integration, we guide it. Admiral Santos studied the new designs. How long will this method take? Longer than our original estimate, Alina admitted. Maybe 3 years instead of 2. But it will work. And more importantly, it will be safe. The Admiral was silent for a long moment. The Defense Council won't like the delay. We've detected increased activity at the edge of our solar system. Unknown ships watching us. We need this technology operational. If we rush this, James warned, we won't just fail. We might take half of Mars with us. Then we do it right, Santos decided. But I want regular progress reports. Whatever's out there, it's getting closer. The next year transformed the project. Instead of a traditional shipyard, they created what Alina called a Genesis chamber, a massive underground cavern where the ship could grow organically. The crystalline framework, built to human specifications, served as a skeleton. Around it, the alien metamaterials began to form naturally, like crystal growing in a solution. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Dr. Sarah Patel, recovered from the security breach incident, noticed something in her quantum mechanics readings. The ship wasn't just growing, it was learning. Every failed attempt, every simulation, every test became part of its development process. It's not just a warship, she explained during a project review. It's evolving. The alien technology isn't just integrating with our engineering, it's adapting to it, improving it. And the quantum core, I think it's developing consciousness. The implications were staggering. They weren't just building humanity's most advanced warship, they were, in a very real sense, giving birth to something entirely new. A hybrid of human and alien technology that was becoming more than the sum of its parts. As the ship grew, its hull taking on an otherworldly iridescence, Alina couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. The aliens hadn't just given humanity a weapon, they'd given them a path to evolution. A way to transcend their technological limitations without losing their essential humanity. But time was running out. The unknown ships at the edge of the solar system were growing more numerous. Whatever threat the aliens had prepared humanity for, it was approaching. The question now wasn't just whether they could complete the ship in time, but whether humanity was truly ready for what it would become. In the Genesis chamber, the growing vessel pulsed with internal light, its quantum core processing possibilities from 1,000 parallel universes. Humanity's greatest achievement was taking shape, but its true test still lay ahead. And somewhere in the darkness between the stars, ancient eyes watched with growing interest as humanity took its first steps toward becoming something greater than anyone had imagined. Trial by fire, Captain Maya Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the HSS Phoenix, marveling at how the ship's surfaces rippled with subtle iridescence under her touch. After 3 years of growth and development, humanity's most advanced warship was finally ready for its first deep space trial. The neural interface at the base of her skull tingled as the ship's quantum consciousness reached out to her, sharing its excitement and apprehension. "All systems are synchronized," reported Lieutenant Sarah Chen, Elena's daughter, and the ship's quantum systems specialist. "The core is processing at optimal efficiency. We're as ready as we'll ever be." Maya nodded, settling into the command chair that seemed to mold itself to her form. "Bridge crew, sound off. Weapons systems online," called out Jack Harrison, his fingers dancing over holographic controls that shifted and adapted to his movements. "Though I'm still not entirely sure what half of these do." "Navigation ready," responded David Patel, whose entire console was a 3-dimensional representation of space that he manipulated with gesture controls. "Course laid in for the Kuiper Belt test range." "Engineering reports all systems nominal," came the voice of Chief Engineer Marcus Webb over the comm. "The quantum core is stable, and the metamaterial hull is responding perfectly to environmental changes." Maya took a deep breath. "Phoenix Control, this is Captain Rodriguez. We are ready for departure." "Acknowledged, Phoenix." Admiral Santos's voice crackled through the comm. "You have clearance for launch. Remember, this is just a systems test. No heroics." The ship detached from its berth in the Martian underground facility, rising through the massive doors that opened to the surface. As they ascended, Maya felt the ship's excitement build through their neural link. The Phoenix wasn't just a vessel. It was alive in its own unique way, eager to prove itself. They were halfway to the test range when the alerts began. "Multiple contacts," Jack called out, his console flaring with warning signals. 3 vessels just dropped out of FTL. "Configuration unknown, but they're definitely not human." Through the neural link, Maya felt the Phoenix's recognition. These ships matched patterns it had observed in its quantum calculations. They were hunters, drawn by the unique energy signature of its hybrid technology. "This is Captain Rodriguez of the HSS Phoenix," Maya broadcast on all frequencies. "You have entered restricted space. State your intentions." The response came in the form of energy weapons fire. 3 lances of sickly green light streaked toward the Phoenix. "Evasive action," Maya ordered, but before David could respond, the ship was already moving. Through their neural link, she felt the Phoenix's calculations. It had anticipated the attack pattern seconds before it happened, processing combat possibilities from countless parallel universes. The alien beams passed through empty space as the Phoenix executed a maneuver that should have been impossible, its hull flowing like liquid metal to reduce its profile. "Return fire?" Jack asked, his hands hovering over the weapons controls. Maya felt the Phoenix's suggestion through their link. "No," she said with a smile. "Let's show them what we can really do." The ship's quantum core pulsed, and suddenly space itself seemed to ripple around them. The alien vessels fired again, but their beams bent around the Phoenix's hull as if reality itself was being warped. "What just happened?" Sarah asked, staring at her readings in disbelief. "The ship," Maya explained, understanding flowing through the neural link. "It's not just avoiding their attacks, it's rewriting probability in real time. Those shots were guaranteed hits in every possible universe, until we changed the rules." The alien vessels spread out, attempting to flank them. Their design was predatory, all sharp angles and weapon ports, clearly built for intimidation. But the Phoenix was something entirely new. "They're charging something big," Jack warned. "Energy readings are off the charts." Maya felt the Phoenix's confidence. "Sarah, initiate quantum field expansion. Jack, prepare the probability cascade. David, on my mark, take us right between them." "Between them?" David's voice cracked. "Captain, that's suicide." "Trust the ship," Maya said firmly. "It knows what it's doing." The alien vessels unleashed their combined firepower, a devastating blast that would have atomized any normal ship. But as the Phoenix dove between them, something extraordinary happened. The ship's quantum field expanded, and suddenly all three alien vessels were firing at each other, their own attacks passing through the space where the Phoenix had been and striking their allies. "Impossible," Sarah whispered. "The ship didn't just dodge. It retroactively changed the trajectory of their weapons. It made their attacks hit each other before they were even fired." Through the neural link, Maya felt the Phoenix's satisfaction. The ship hadn't just won its first battle. It had demonstrated a completely new form of warfare, one that operated on the level of quantum probability itself. The surviving alien vessel, heavily damaged by its own allies' fire, turned to retreat. But before it could jump to FTL, the Phoenix reached out with its quantum field one last time. The alien ship's engines sputtered and died. "What did we just do?" Jack asked. "We changed the probability of their FTL drive working to zero," Maya explained, the knowledge flowing from the ship to her mind. "In every possible universe, at this exact moment, their technology fails." As they took the alien vessel in tow, Maya felt a mix of emotions through the neural link. The Phoenix was proud of its performance, but also somewhat sad. It hadn't wanted its first contact with other spacefaring races to be violent. Like its human crew, it hoped for peaceful exploration of the cosmos. "Phoenix, this is Control." Admiral Santos's voice was tense. "We monitored the entire engagement. Are you all right?" Maya smiled. "More than all right, Admiral. The Phoenix exceeded all expectations. But more importantly, we've confirmed what we suspected. Something out there has been watching us, waiting to see if we could successfully integrate the alien technology. And now they know we have." Through the neural link, the Phoenix shared its analysis. The attacking vessels weren't the real threat. They were merely scouts, testing humanity's capabilities. The true challenge still lay ahead. "Bring that ship back to Mars," Santos ordered. "Our technical teams will want to study it. And Captain, congratulations. You just made history." As they turned back toward Mars, Maya felt the Phoenix processing probabilities of future encounters. The ship was already learning, adapting, preparing for greater challenges. Through their neural link, she sensed its determination. Whatever threats awaited humanity among the stars, they would face them together. Human ingenuity and alien technology combined into something entirely new. The metamaterial hull rippled with colors that had no names in human language, and in its quantum core, the Phoenix calculated the probabilities of humanity's survival against the gathering storm. The odds were improving with every passing moment. Evolution. 3 months after their first combat encounter, the HSS Phoenix drifted in high orbit above Mars, its iridescent hull reflecting the pale sunlight. Inside, Captain Maya Rodriguez sat in her quarters, her eyes closed as she communed with the ship through their neural link. The connection had grown stronger over time, evolving from simple communication into something far more profound. "Show me again," she whispered, and in her mind, she saw what the Phoenix saw. Probability streams flowing like rivers through the quantum fabric of space-time. The ship was teaching her to perceive reality as it did, to understand the multiple layers of existence that humans had never been able to comprehend before. A gentle chime interrupted their communion. "Captain," Sarah Chen's voice came through the comm. "We've made a breakthrough with the captured alien vessel. You need to see this." In the analysis bay, the alien scout ship hung suspended in a quantum containment field. Dr. Elena Chen stood beside her daughter Sarah, both women's faces illuminated by holographic displays, showing impossibly complex data streams. We finally decoded their navigation logs, Belina explained as Maya entered. These scouts weren't just testing our defenses, they were gathering data for something much larger, something they call the convergence. Through the neural link, Maya felt the Phoenix's recognition of the term. Images flooded her mind. Vast armadas of ships, entire civilizations being systematically harvested for their technology and resources. They're collectors, Sarah added, bringing up more displays. They seek out civilizations on the brink of major technological breakthroughs and either absorb or eliminate them. The alien vault we found. It wasn't just left by benevolent predecessors. It was left by survivors. The Phoenix's quantum core pulsed with increased activity as it processed this information. Through their link, Maya felt its determination growing. The ship had been created to defend humanity, but now it understood that its purpose was even greater. There's more, Elena said softly. The vault's security protocols didn't just activate randomly during the sabotage attempt. The ship, it triggered them deliberately. It needed us to understand something. Maya felt the truth through the neural link before Elena could say it. The quantum core, she breathed. It's not just processing possibilities from parallel universes. It's accessing memories, the accumulated experiences of countless civilizations that faced the convergence. Exactly, Elena confirmed. The aliens who built the vault didn't just give us technology. They gave us a weapon that could learn from every victory and defeat across infinite realities. The Phoenix isn't just a ship. It's an archive of resistance against the convergence. In the following weeks, the Phoenix began to change more rapidly. Its metamaterial hull developed new patterns, its quantum field grew stronger, and its neural link with the crew deepened. But the most significant changes were happening in the minds of its crew. Chief Engineer Marcus Webb discovered he could intuitively understand and modify the ship's systems while connected through the neural link. Jack Harrison found he could perceive attack patterns before they happened. David Pittle began navigating through probability spaces as easily as normal space. The line between human and machine consciousness was blurring, but not in the way anyone had feared. Instead of the crew being absorbed by the ship's eye, or the AI being limited by human consciousness, something entirely new was emerging, a true synthesis of both. It's beautiful, Sarah said one evening, as she and Maya observed the ship's quantum core. We thought we were just building a weapon, but we're actually becoming something more. The ship isn't just teaching us, it's helping us evolve. Maya felt the Phoenix's agreement through their link. The ship shared a vision of humanity spreading among the stars, not as conquerors or mere survivors, but as guardians. The technology from the vault wasn't just meant to save humanity. It was meant to help humanity save others. But their evolution didn't go unnoticed. Long-range sensors detected increasing activity at the edges of the solar system. The convergence was coming, drawn by the unique energy signature of their growing power. Admiral Santos called an emergency meeting of the Phoenix's command crew. Our deep space arrays have detected multiple fleets entering the Oort cloud, he announced grimly. Current estimates suggest we'll be facing at least 300 capital ships within the month. Maya should have felt fear at those numbers, but through the neural link, she felt only calm determination. The Phoenix had been processing combat scenarios against such odds since its creation, drawing upon the experiences of countless civilizations across infinite realities. We're not ready, Jack protested, looking at the projected fleet numbers. We're more ready than you think, Maya replied, feeling the ship's confidence flow through her. The Phoenix hasn't just been preparing itself, it's been preparing us. Everything we've learned, every change we've undergone, it's all been leading to this moment. Through their neural link, the entire crew felt the ship's response, a complex quantum calculation that showed their probability of success. It wasn't just about the technology anymore. It was about the unique combination of human intuition and creativity with the ship's quantum processing power. The Convergence expects to find either primitive humans playing with technology they don't understand, or a fully artificial intelligence they can compromise, Sarah observed. Instead, they're going to face something entirely new. The Phoenix's hull rippled with patterns of light as it processed battle scenarios. In its quantum core, the accumulated knowledge of countless civilizations merged with human determination and ingenuity. The ship had evolved far beyond its original design, and through their neural link, it had helped its crew evolve as well. As they began their final preparations for the coming battle, Maya stood on the bridge, feeling the ship's consciousness intertwined with her own. The Phoenix wasn't just humanity's greatest weapon anymore. It was a testament to humanity's greatest strength, the ability to adapt, to grow, and to become something greater than anyone had imagined. The real test still lay ahead, but they would face it as neither purely human or purely machine, but as something new, the next step in the evolution of both. Defender of Earth. The void between Mars and Jupiter erupted with light as 300 convergence warships dropped out of FTL. Their black hulls absorbed all light, creating a void in space itself, each vessel bristling with weapons that had ended civilizations. At the head of the fleet, a massive command ship took position, its size dwarfing even the largest human space stations. Aboard the Phoenix, Captain Maya Rodriguez felt the ship's consciousness surge through their neural link, processing combat possibilities across infinite realities. Behind her, the bridge crew worked in perfect synchronization, their minds joined with both ship and captain in a symphony of human and artificial intelligence. The Convergence is broadcasting, Sarah Chen reported, her fingers dancing through holographic displays. They're demanding our immediate surrender and the handover of all alien technology. Through their shared connection, Maya felt the Phoenix's response before she verbalized it. Tell them, she said with a slight smile, that humanity doesn't surrender what it has earned. The enemy fleet's response was immediate. A wave of energy torpedoes launched from their forward batteries, each capable of reducing a small moon to atoms. But the Phoenix was already moving, its metamaterial hull flowing like liquid starlight as it executed maneuvers that should have been impossible. Multiple quantum signatures, Jack Harrison called out. They're trying to lock down probability streams, prevent us from using our advantage. Maya felt the Phoenix's calm assessment of the situation. The ship had anticipated this strategy, had seen it used across countless realities. But what the Convergence didn't understand was that the Phoenix wasn't just a weapon, it was the combined experience of every civilization that had ever resisted them. Sarah, initiate quantum cascade, Maya ordered. Jack, target their probability locks. Marcus, prepare for full power to the core. David, plot us a course through their formation, the most impossible route you can imagine. Through their neural link, the crew felt the ship's approval. This was what they had evolved for, what all their training and transformation had been leading to. As one mind, human and machine consciousness merged, they acted. The Phoenix's quantum core pulsed with blinding intensity. Reality seemed to fracture around them as the ship executed its attack. But instead of firing conventional weapons, it began rewriting probability itself. Convergent ships found their weapons firing into empty space, their targets existing simultaneously in multiple locations, their carefully planned formations breaking apart as space itself seemed to rebel against their presence. They're adapting. Sarah warned as the enemy fleet began to shift tactics. Multiple temporal incursions detected. The Convergence was attempting to change the past, to prevent the Phoenix from ever being built. But they had underestimated the depth of the ship's quantum integration. The Phoenix existed across all probabilities, its consciousness anchored in every reality where humanity had chosen to fight. Through their neural link, Maya felt the ship accessing its deepest memories, the accumulated knowledge of 1,000 fallen civilizations who had faced the Convergence. But unlike those who had come before, the Phoenix had something unique. Human creativity combined with quantum computing power. Execute pattern Omega, Maya commanded, and through their shared consciousness, Every crew member understood their role perfectly. The Phoenix's hull began to vibrate at frequencies that shouldn't have been possible, its metamaterial structure resonating with the quantum fabric of space itself. Energy coursed through probability streams as the ship initiated its master stroke, a maneuver that had never been attempted in any reality. By all the stars, Marcus breathed from engineering. We're not just changing probability. We're rewriting the fundamental laws of physics in this sector. The Phoenix's quantum field expanded exponentially, encompassing the entire convergence fleet. For a moment, space itself seemed to hold its breath. Then reality shattered. Every ship in the convergence fleet found itself facing an impossible choice. Their weapons could either exist as functional devices, or their FTL drives could maintain cohesion, but the laws of physics would no longer allow both to be true simultaneously. They're breaking formation, Jack reported with a mix of awe and disbelief. Their weapons are. They're unmaking themselves. Through their neural link, the crew felt the Phoenix's satisfaction. The ship hadn't just outfought the convergence. It had changed the rules of reality itself, creating a space where their technology couldn't exist in its current form. The massive command ship, realizing what was happening, attempted one final desperate attack. It launched a weapon designed to collapse probability itself, to destroy not just the Phoenix, but every possible version of it across all realities. But the Phoenix had seen this weapon before, in 1,000 different universes, through the memories of 100 different civilizations, and humanity had added something new to the equation. The ability to adapt, to change, to become something greater than the sum of their parts. As the probability collapse weapon approached, the Phoenix didn't try to dodge. Instead, it opened itself fully to its human crew, their consciousness merging completely with its quantum core. In that moment, they weren't human or machine, weren't bound by the limits of either. They were possibility itself. The weapon struck, and for a heartbeat, reality ceased to exist. Then, like a phoenix rising from quantum fire, the ship emerged transformed. Its hull now rippled with colors that had no names in any language, its very existence a testament to the power of human and machine working as one. The Convergence fleet, their weapons negated and their fundamental technology rendered impossible by the local laws of physics, had no choice but to retreat. As they fled back into FTL, Maya felt the Phoenix's consciousness reach out one last time, implanting a message in their quantum cores, a warning that humanity was now under the protection of something beyond their understanding. As the last enemy ship disappeared, Admiral Santos's voice crackled through the comm. "Phoenix, what just happened out there?" Maya smiled, feeling the shared triumph and exhaustion of her crew through their neural link. "We did what humanity does best, Admiral. We evolved. We adapted. We overcame." The Phoenix's hull shimmered with new patterns as its quantum core processed the implications of what they had achieved. They had done more than win a battle. They had proven that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in technology or weapons, but in their ability to grow, to change, and to become something greater than anyone had imagined. Through their neural link, the crew felt the ship's satisfaction, not just at their victory, but at what it represented. The aliens who had left the vault hadn't just been preparing humanity to defend itself. They had been preparing humanity to become guardians of all those who would face the convergence in the future. As they turned back toward Earth, the Phoenix's quantum core pulsed with new possibilities. They had evolved beyond what either humans or machines could have achieved alone. And somewhere in the vast darkness between the stars, other civilizations would soon learn that humanity had not just survived its trial by fire. It had emerged as something entirely new, ready to extend its protection to all those who faced the same threat. The story of the Phoenix wasn't just about a ship or its crew anymore. It was about humanity's first step into a larger universe, not as conquerors or victims, but as protectors. And through their neural link, every crew member knew that this was just the beginning.